So guys, like, I don't know about you guys, but like once you start dating someone, like, let's be real, like we've already stalked them, we've already become friends with them on Facebook, and we're already following them on Instagram.
You know what their ex looks like.
You know what their ex looks like. Wow, you're so deep in those pictures. Like, let's
so deep, so deep.
You're so deep that you're just like, don't double tap, just don't double tap.
Oh shit, I know.
It's like we're all there. We're all there. I mean, I have tons of friends who are like stalking, and they just show me pictures like, just be careful with your finger. Be careful with your finger. But you know, it's a slippery slope. It's a little scary, I'll tell you, because you know, when I meet someone new and that happens, you know, it's like, oh, like, do you like all their pictures? Do you like all their statuses? Do you watch all their stories?
And then you see something that makes you think something like, oh, like, who's this girl? I've seen her before. And we just get in our minds even more than we already do. It's like you said, a slippery slope.
You get their stories. Oh, there's so much, right? Like, it's a 24/7 access to people that before you wouldn't have had that access. You would have been a little bit more curious. You would have been a little bit like, oh, I wonder what they're doing right now. And that's kind of fun. I kind of like that curiosity. So I think there is a fine balance between over liking and overseeing everything. I love you do really good at this, Kayla, because see me, I'm really active like on a lot of platforms. But you're good at this because you just choose one or two, and then those are your platforms that you look at.
You know me, I'm an old soul. I honestly just get so overwhelmed with everything that I really can only handle like one or two at a time because it's a lot. I can't, especially when it comes to dating, when you like pull that into the mix, like it's a lot.
Yeah, you meet someone new, like just it's okay to stalk because you're tempted and it's fine. Like I think there's nothing wrong with research. I call it research.
Oh, research. I like that term.
Yeah, you know, just doing my research. There's nothing wrong with research. There is definitely a borderline, though, when there's too much research, right? It's like, because then you're creating, like you said, you're creating these stories for them. Like, oh, like, here's a girl with them, like, you know, 1 week ago. You don't know. It could be their friend, could be an ex.
That we create. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's false reality. So you have to be really careful. Oh, and the worst is, like, I don't know, was it you who told me, like, when you go on a date and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I saw that you went there last week. And you're like, oh, you gotta be really careful how much you're stalking. Sometimes it's better to not know. Like sometimes I don't do that much research on purpose. Sometimes I'll go on a date with someone and I won't even actually stalk them just because I want to be.
At least like the first date, because you know, you don't want to go into the first date with like these preconceived notions that again you create in your mind that may or may not be true. And you're almost like setting the date up for failure, right? You're not even giving the other person a chance to like let you into who they are because you've already like formulated that in your mind. So at least for the first date, I like that. Just like try to do minimal, like very, very minimal.
The first date, I agree. I think the first date, like it's okay because if you met them online, you just want to make sure that they're not like
you're real.
They're real. You're not gonna get catfish. That's fair. But I don't think you need to go so deep where you're almost gonna cancel a date because you think you already know them when you don't. Because at the end of the day, meeting someone for the first time, all that matters is the chemistry. If you don't have the chemistry, you just did all that research for nothing, and you will never get those hours back in your life.
It is a valid form of communication when you're dating someone, and I guess like we also have to like define dating in our generation, right? Because we have different types of dating in our lives. You know, are you just talking to someone? Are you messing with someone? Like, there's so many different levels. So, like, at what point can you start expecting different types of communication other than social media, right? Like, when's that point?
Yeah, and it's not even like, and it's crazy because it's not really just about the expectation, right? It's just about like what your standard is as to like how someone should communicate with you.
Yeah.
You know, because some people like may be okay with social media being their main form of communication because they're always on Facebook. Like they're the people who are constantly checking their statuses and Facebook notifications. That's okay. But then if you're the kind of person like Kayla who can go 2 or 3 days without opening Facebook, because I know. If you're like you're not the kind of person who really cares
with me through social media. That is not an acceptable form of communication if we're dating. Like that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. Like it's okay like if you're sharing something fun or like you thought it is. If you don't, here's my rule of thumb. If you want an instant reply or if you want something instant like response, do not message me on social media. Like I'm not gonna like because I'm not checking. I like actually on purpose shut off all my notifications for all forms of social media because I don't want to get distracted in my day with social media. But if you want an instant reply and you're actually asking me a question like, hey, what time are we meeting for drinks? I think that text message is the way to go.
I think that's the key. You hit the nail on the head there, right? It's like, what are we talking about, right? What are you asking me? Like, yeah, if you're sending me like something funny or a meme or whatever, yeah, cool. You know, of course, just share it through Instagram. Like, I'm not going to like get mad about that. But again, if you're asking me, when are we meeting? How's your day? Or telling me that you missed me. That should honestly be like via like, you know, like a call, FaceTime, or text. Like those are the only 3 options you have in my book.
I agree. And the cool thing about technology too is like what you mentioned is FaceTime. Like nowadays, like we have this such cool function like that people didn't have back in the day where we could just be FaceTiming you. Like it is so cool. Like I know like you and I are like more recently, you know, really implementing that.
Thank God, I feel like you're not in LA. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like salvaging our relationship.
It is. It saves relationships, guys. FaceTime is the shit. I fucking love FaceTime. And I'm all for it. Like once you've like already gone like on enough dates where it's like you're comfortable with the person, not even, like, I don't need that much. Like I love like FaceTiming. Like sure, I need to go run and probably fix my hair up a little bit, make sure that my face doesn't look hot, mess. But you know, I love FaceTime because it's like so personal and it's like a quick like, hey, like this is what I'm doing right now, like this is where I'm at. And if you can't answer, it's easy. It's just like, yo, I can't talk right now. That's cool.
So question for you, you actually reminded me of something. So relating back to like dating apps. So I had connected with a few people on Bumble at one point, and it kind of weirded me out that before our first date, they were already calling me. Like, is that weird? Is it just because I'm a millennial? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like someone's calling me. Like, why didn't you text me? I don't know. It just kind of weirded me out.
That's a total millennial in you.
Right?
So I can see why you'd be weirded out, but I'm all about it.
I didn't pick up.
No, you didn't pick up?
I was there and I was like, I'm not ready for that.
So you know what's funny, Kay? So I actually have guys call me before I meet them out for a first date. If I met them through Tinder or those social media.
That's probably smarter. But again, like my initial instinct just be like, no, I don't know you. What are you
talking to me? No, because I pick up so much energy and like I can pick up at least a hint of if we're gonna connect on how our dialogue will go on the phone. And you know me, like I freaking hate like spending time and going dates if like I don't have to. So I will put so many like layers on there. Like let's test.
Checkpoint 2.
Checkpoint 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm like, yo, my time's very valuable. And I say that, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to go spend hours on a date, which is fine to meet people. But if you can like, you know, cut some people out by talking to them on the phone first, I'm all about it, dude. I actually make people, I'm like, hey, can we connect on the phone before we, you know, sometimes, not always. If I've already like, we already
things I learned from you. I'm going to not be afraid to initiate a date or something with someone on a dating app, and maybe I should just like call someone before. You know, it's not
have them call you and just be like, hey, like why don't we connect over the phone before we even meet up for set a date for coffee?
All right.
Because it'll be cool. And if they call you, I gotta say, like, I actually give those guys major props. You should call those guys.
You're right.
You know what? Because that's like a whole new, like, that takes like.
It takes balls.
That takes balls. It fucking takes balls. Let's be real. Like, you know, this guy not only is like interested in you, but he took the time to call you and he wants to talk to you. Like, yo, that's pretty awesome.
But how do you feel, honestly, when you're trying to reach someone or the guy that you're crushing on won't text you or call you back, and you see that he's active on every social media platform? He's posting Instagram stories. He was on Facebook 5 minutes ago. He's liking people's pictures. Like, how are you supposed to feel? Like, damn, you have that much time and you still haven't reached out to me?
Yo, that shit happens all the fucking time. Like, we're not the only ones, by the way. Like, my friends, we all complain about this shit. Like, Melissa, like, I texted him. I swear, I had a friend recently who was, like, pissed. Because she's like, I texted him, and he said, like, you know, like, whatever, he was going to call her back. And then he's off on social media, liking this, doing this, posting this. And she's like, I didn't hear from him till, like, the next day. And he said he was busy. And he said he was busy. For the record, I hate the word busy.
He started on
the word busy. Like, let's be real. It's all a matter of what your priorities is. Busy is generalization.
I tell you that all the time. You make a conscious choice on how to perform, like, with your time. So you made a conscious choice to not to text me, and you
Yeah.
text me somebody else, or you talk to somebody else. Nobody is that busy. We are glued to our phones. They are with us. We sleep with them. We go to the bathroom with them. They're with us all the time. So there's no way you're that busy. No way.
And that's what it comes down to. It's like it sucks to say this, but in that moment, you're just not their priority.
You're not.
Like their priority list, as silly as it sounds, was to go on their Instagram, check their feed, make a post, like pictures. That was just their order of priorities. And that's okay. Maybe they're just not emotionally invested in you as much as you are in them. And sometimes it's a hard truth to really like come to terms with, to be like, oh, this person doesn't like me as much as I like them. Yo, like, you gotta just be real with yourself. That's just what it is.
All right, guys, that is it for now, but make sure to stay tuned for Dating in the Digital Age Part 3, Surviving the Digital Addiction.